is reopening their investigation. This is the biggest political scandal since Watergate. And it's everybody's deepest hope that justice, at last, will be beautifully delivered. Hillary has nobody but herself to blame for her mounting legal difficulties. Her criminal action was willful, deliberate, intentional, and purposeful. Hillary set up an illegal server for the obvious purpose of shielding her criminal conduct from public disclosure and exposure.
Donald Trump, of course, on the campaign trail in Arizona, responding to the biggest story of the moment, the FBI's announcement. It is resuming a criminal investigation of Hillary Clinton. Here to respond this morning, Martin O'Malley is the former governor of Maryland and a former Democratic presidential candidate. Governor, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks for coming on.
So, thank you, Tucker. Good to be with you.
You're hearing Democrats say, and some Republicans say, too, that the director's announcement 2 days ago added confusion to the presidential race. And I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. Wouldn't one way to resolve it be Huma Abedin giving permission to the FBI to read your email? They wouldn't need a warrant then, and then the FBI could assess and explain what exactly is going on. Wouldn't that calm this election and answer the questions that you yourself have raised about this investigation? Why won't you do that?
Yeah, well, maybe, but the FBI has always has a very deliberate approach, to put it kindly, to these sorts of things. And I believe, in having read Director Comey's letter, what he said is that he's going back and he's going to be looking at emails on that server. What he also says is he doesn't know whether any of them is even significant.
Right.
So I believe that I had just heard Mr. Trump talk about the greatest scandal since Watergate. The greatest scandal since Watergate is Donald Trump's Russian allies breaking into the Democratic Party's headquarters and their emails.
All right. No, I've heard the talking about before, but no, but really, you're saying, look, the FBI doesn't even know. Of course it is. The FBI doesn't even know whether these emails indicate wrongdoing. That's a fair point.
Right.
So why? And they can't, because the Justice Department is not allowing them to read the emails. So why wouldn't Huma Abedin end this conversation? Okay. Why wouldn't Huma Abedin? This is a sincere question, and it's a fact-based one. Why wouldn't Huma Abedin say, read my emails, make the assessment, tell the public, end the speculation? We could do that today. Why won't she?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she will. But this is what I know. I know that the FBI looked at this so-called email scandal for over a year. Tucker, they interviewed Ms. Abedin. They knew fully well where various email servers were. They went through this investigation and they concluded that there wasn't anything actionable there. And that all happened a few months ago. I think this is unprecedented, that an FBI director in the middle of the decision window for the American voters would put out this thing. I mean, perhaps he thought it was in an abundance of openness and transparency. Hey, I'm all for that, but don't do a letter that says, hey, I'm looking at this with openness and transparency. Wanted to let all of you Republicans in Congress know. And by the way, I don't really know if there's anything here, but I'm going to let you know I'm looking at it 10 days before the election. That's outrageous.
So if you're for openness, here's what else has never happened. No party has ever nominated a candidate who was under criminal investigation. Hillary Clinton was under criminal investigation from July of 2015 until July of 2016. You ran against her during that time. She lied about the existence of this homebrew server and about her emails. I don't remember you ever mentioning that on stage in your debates with her. Why didn't you? And don't you wish you had now?
Oh, no, we actually talked about this during the debate. Yeah, you might be confusing me with Mr. Sanders.
No, I watched all the debates.
I said that the FBI was looking at this and the FBI would make its conclusion. And indeed they did. I never said, as Senator Sanders said, that they shouldn't look at this. I said that they should. In fact, they did. And they concluded that there wasn't anything there. I think the bigger issues in this race
they did not conclude that nothing was there. I mean, that's not at all what the director said.
They concluded that there wasn't anything actionable there, Tucker. Look, I was a lawyer. Perhaps you were as well. What they concluded was that they couldn't make a case. They could not find any criminal intent. They could not find any examples of classified material that was willfully released. That's what they concluded.
No, that's not actually what they concluded. And not to relitigate this, but that's not at all what the director said. And he went on to say, he said, we're not bringing charges, but he said that anyone else who did this would be in a heap of trouble. And I'm wondering if maybe the principle of equal treatment under the law isn't worth preserving here. Are you bothered, for example, that the Attorney General of the United States met with the subject of this investigation's husband for close to an hour in secret during the investigation. Why did no Democrat stand up and say, wait a second, you can't do that? I don't remember you standing on principle at that moment. Why?
Well, but look, I think that, I think that meeting was something that in retrospect, President Clinton probably wishes he had not done. But President Clinton isn't running for president.
But that was the Attorney
Hillary
General of the
Clinton
United
is.
States who met with him. And she is still the Attorney General. And I wonder why nobody stood up and said, that's just wrong. If it's not corruption, it gives the appearance of corruption. And now everyone's full of principle now and standing on it. But where were you then? I mean, that was an appalling moment. No?
Yeah, look, there's in a campaign and in politics, there's all sorts of things that give rise to perceptions. We're
Right.
all concerned about perceptions. I'm very concerned about the fact that, Donald Trump from get-go and even in the debate said that if he were to win this election, he would jail his opponent. That's some tin horn dictator stuff, the likes of which we're not accustomed to seeing in our country's election. I think more appalling is that the Republicans would nominate this fringe third-party fascist candidate who is
There
facing
you are with the
himself.
name. There you are with the
12
name calling it.
complaints.
But I mean, come on. I mean,
12
look,
complaints.
we have a
Fascist is the Hillary Clinton.
Who wants adult
sexual
answers?
assault.
So maybe you could provide one.
Yeah, I'll give you an
and
adult
it's
answer,
really
Tucker.
rather
Here's
than
an
he's a
adult answer,
fascist.
Mike.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
He's a
he is.
fascist.
You wanna talk
whatever.
about that
But
some
you're
more?
not
Democrats are
responding to it.
fascist,
That doesn't
and
concern you,
they're
Tucker?
No, look.
That doesn't concern you.
The-
But this is a man
the
who calls
front
for
runner in
religious
this race,
ID cards
hold
of
on.
Americans.
The front runner of this race is under criminal investigation.
That's right.
By the FBI.
That's right.
And your position appears to be
no, she's not, Tucker.
Actually, the director of the FBI
No,
just
no,
announced that. I
actually-
don't know where you've been for the last 2 days. That is a factual statement. And your position
I've been
appears
in
to be it's
Colorado,
everyone's
I've been in
fault but
California,
hers.
and I'm going to Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I don't have one voter saying
They're
to me,
so
wow, this
delirious.
stuff's really
Oh,
going to
my
change
goodness.
my
I'm not
life."
asking voters, I'm
This stuff
asking
has
you.
been so...
I'm asking
This
you
stuff
if
has
you
been-
think that she is culpable for that in any way. Or is it the fault of the Russians, the fascist Trump, the corrupt right-wing FBI director? I mean, does she bear any responsibility for that at all, or is it always someone else's fault? Simple question.
No, she has admitted herself that in retrospect she wishes she had not set up that other server. That she said again and again and again.
So she is
and no,
at
I don't
fault
believe
here.
that when Director Comey says that he's going back to look at this other server that Anthony Weiner had, that I don't believe that that amounts to the fact that Hillary Clinton is under criminal investigation again. I know that
But
that
she
isn't
is.
what Trump and
Well,
fascists
wait,
says.
but hold on, but what is it then? So if the FBI director says we're investigating her in a criminal matter, isn't that
It's a criminal.
investigation? What else would you call it? Think of a new name. But why is that inaccurate?
Yeah, what he said is
Dumbasses.
he's going back to look at the server. That's what he has said. He has told
So the
members of
server
Congress
is the
that he's
subject
going
of
back
criminal
to look at.
investigation. Is that your position? We're going to charge the server with a
No,
crime?
that's his. No, that's his because of the Anthony Weiner criminal
love this.
behavior potentially of whatever the
Look,
pictures
I get
were
that you've got a
that
different position than me, but let's not patronize each other by speaking in euphemisms and talking. Let's just establish factually she is under criminal investigation.
I'm not
you
aware
think
that I
she's
used the
innocent?
euphemism, Tucker.
Okay.
Pardon?
Can't
Yes,
you
I
just
believe that she
concede
is
the
not
reality
criminally
of the
culpable,
fact
Tucker.
that she's under criminal investigation? If we can't concede that, then it's hard to have a conversation if we won't acknowledge reality. You think she's innocent, that's fine, but she's under criminal investigation by the FBI, correct?
No, I don't believe that that is correct, Tucker.
Oh,
I believe
come
that what's
on.
happened is that in that investigation, Director
Delirious.
Comey has said 10 days
Freaking
before the
delirious.
election that he's gonna go back
Dumbasses.
and
And
take
these
another
are the
look at
people
that server.
Hillary
That does
supporters
not
that
mean
want in
that,
our
Director
Congress.
Comey
Oh,
has
boy.
decided, there's something
They're as
extra.
dumb as
In
they
fact,
are.
contrary,
But
he
it's
swear.
said he has no idea what's in those
But all
emails.
investigations
And neither do you,
begin
Tucker.
with a presumption of innocence. But you have just conceded it's an investigation being carried out by the FBI. By definition, it's not a civil investigation, it's a criminal investigation.
Exactly.
And you won't concede that she's the subject of it. You said instead it's the server. Do you think that server would do hard time? Perhaps the death penalty? I mean, this is crazy talk.
It is.
Let's
No,
get
it's
to
not,
reality.
Tucker.
She's
What I'm
the
saying
subject
is
of a
their
criminal investigation.
investigation. Now, Tucker, the investigation has to do with Anthony Weiner and the horrible things that Anthony Weiner apparently has an obsession with doing online. And so he has gone back to look at that server to see if there's any connection. And he has admitted that he doesn't know whether there are any emails there that are connected to this or not.
Right, okay.
That's what he's admitted.
Okay,
and
but
that's what you, my friend, gloss over.
I think you'd be more credible if you would just admit the obvious. And the obvious point is Weiner's under criminal investigation, so's Hillary. You think she's innocent, fine. But, the terms are important and they're real. Martin O'Malley, it's
Yeah,
great
they
to
are.
see you this morning.
Thank you. Good to see
Appreciate
you,
it.
Tucker.
Delusional
We just heard from the former
dumbass.
presidential candidate Martin O'Malley of Maryland, and now we've got a Trump supporter joining us next, Peter King of New York.